Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to Yarn and Pajamas. Today is a Vlogmas day number 20, and I thought today we would start off with reading a story from The Magic of Christmas Miracles. I still haven't received my box yet, but it's on its way, so pretty soon I can go back to opening those 25 days of gifts with you guys. But tonight we can sit and enjoy a story I've selected, and it's called To Hope and Pray. I'm going to take my glasses off and let's get started. My mother was to me the greatest example of love, kindness, tenderness, and self-sacrifice. She was the truest teacher of fairness that I have ever known, and not a day goes by that I do not miss her in my life. I grew up in a home my parents bought just before I was born. My childhood was filled with tiny moments of caring and love. Hot cocoa and cookies on a rainy afternoon, warm smiles and a pat on the back whenever I needed one. And when I grew up and moved to a house to start my grown-up life, I didn't go far, just a few miles away. I hoped that I would be able to share my parents' love with my own children and give them the same feeling of safety and security I'd grown up with. But as I drove through the rain one December afternoon in 1989, all of that security seemed to be dissolving, washing away with every raindrop that fell. My mother was dying of lung cancer. Christmas was my mother's favorite time of year. Oh, she'd sometimes complain about the hectic season she was having, but our family tree was always carefully decorated with the prized crystal ornaments, and I knew she took great pride in having such a special tree. Please, God, I prayed, as I drove through the rain that day, please let my mother live through one more Christmas. I pulled into a crowded shopping mall parking lot. I'm not ready to let her go, and I need her here with me. My heart was not up to shopping for presents that day, but I selected a gift or two for my husband and daughter. I knew I shouldn't let my feelings of impending loss and betrayal spoil the holiday for my family. In the center of one aisle stood a large display of Christmas ornaments. I thought an ornament might be a cheerful gift for my mother, something that would reconnect with her love for Christmas and give her some hope. Once again, my thoughts took the form of prayers, and I prayed that the gift of a simple ornament would give her the hope to see this blessed day one more time. One ornament on the display stood out in particular. I was drawn to a beautiful satin and pearl encrusted heart. I removed it from the display and walked over to the cash register, pleased with my choice. As I laid it on the counter, I turned it over, and there, outlined in seed pearls on the back of the ornament, was the word hope. I stared at the ornament in disbelief. This was surely a sign that my mother, too, would receive hope from my gift and was meant to survive long enough to share one more Christmas with us. I rushed to her house with the ornament, so eager to give it to her and tell her the story that I didn't even stop to wrap it. Clutching the plastic bag to my chest, I breathlessly told her my story. I told her what the word hope meant to me. She smiled quietly as she listened to my tangled tale, and then carefully hung the glimmering ornament on the big Christmas tree that stood in the corner of the living room. But her hope was not the same as mine. As Christmas grew closer, my mother began to tell me that her desire was to die before Christmas came. She feared being ill over the holiday and forever filling our future holidays with sorrow. I assured her that all my father, my daughter, and I wanted was for her to be with us one last Christmas, sick or well. But she was insistent. I hoped to die before Christmas. And she did. On December 7th of that year, my mother passed away, ending her long struggle against cancer. I buried the satin and pearl ornament with her. She left me, her only daughter, not only saddened, but also confused. Hadn't my prayers helped me find the hope ornament as a sign that she would survive through Christmas? What was the message of my little Christmas miracle? As the months after her death passed, I slowly began to realize that in the end, God in His wisdom had answered my mother's prayer and not mine. This was submitted by Candy Chand of Antelope, California. Oh, that was another sad one. Oh. Sorry to bring a sad one on you guys. But that goes to show you that two people can have almost the same prayer. The daughter prayed for one more Christmas because she thought that that's what she needed. And the mother prayed to not be there that Christmas so that their future Christmases wouldn't be so sorrowful. That was a sad one. I'm sorry. Well, guys, I wanted to show you that coloring sheet that I've been working on. I have made a little bit more progress on it. As you can see, I've got the cake all colored in, and I got some of the gnome hats up top, and got the spoon and the icing. But that's all I've worked on. I have noticed some of the gel pens I don't like the milky ones. They don't color very well, and it's hard for me to color with them. But the metallic ones are awesome. I really like those. So I need to bring my markers from work so I can work on this a little bit more. Yeah. And I also wanted to show you guys one of my favorite blow molds. It's like you can kind of see the top of her head back here. She's not lit up. We usually just set her in the house. But this is Mrs. Jolly Jingle. I don't know if I've ever showed her to you guys before. She's one of my favorite blow molds that I own. I have a small collection of blow molds because they are expensive, the vintage ones. So I found her at like a little like flea market type thing in Kentucky once. It's been a couple years ago. But she actually has a husband, and his name is Mr. Jolly George. That's her name, Mrs. Jolly George. I think I called her Mrs. Jolly Jingle, but it's Mrs. Jolly George. And her husband is Mr. Jolly George. I have been on the hunt for him and have yet to ever find him. So if you guys come upon a lead for Mr. Jolly George, please let me know, because I would be interested in bringing her husband home. So like I said, she usually just sits in the living room. Some years I have put a little light bulb in her, but most of the time they just sit by the bottom of the old TV stand back here. So that's where she's sitting. Trixie got a toy for Christmas. And one of my co-workers, his wife, got her a toy for Christmas, but she doesn't play with toys, sadly. So I will probably maybe donate this to the Humane Society, because, you know, it'll just go wasteful here with her. She just does not like to play with toys anymore. Well, guys, do you want to see one of my other favorite blow molds that I have? It's just right over here, so I think I'll show it to you. Now, normally this one is lit up, but this year I've not lit it up. But it is this long with candles on it. I don't know why I like it so good, but I do. And now I did buy this one off of the eBay. I remember my mama had one of these, and that's why I wanted it. But I do have like these kind of candles in our windows for Christmas. And so I just set this one down here in front of the thing. I didn't even bother plugging it in. I just set it down here. And then Santa, a tiny Santa, he's about this big, sits all the way down there. Maybe tomorrow I can take you guys outside and we can see all of the outside Christmas decorations. So, okay, well, that's all I have for tonight, guys. So I will see you right back here tomorrow on day number 21. Bye.